Thank you, Melly. Before I call our next speaker, let me just say a few things about some of the issues that were mentioned by Melly. Yes, there were a few registrants because before Noynoy announced his presidency, his candidacy for the presidency, a lot of Filipinos overseas and in the United States were not too enthusiastic about the candidates. So when Noynoy announced his presidency, a lot of Filipinos overseas tried to register, but the COMELEC unfortunately halted that effort. But in the next election, I know we will have a lot of involvement. We set trailblazing model in the United States. For the first time in any elections in the history of the Philippines, Filipino Americans were deeply involved. Not only were they campaigning for, in the Filipino American community, they were campaigning also in the Philippines, which had a multiplier effect because they were telling their relatives and friends here to support Noynoy. Officially, we sent about $25 billion to the Philippines from Filipino Americans, but unofficially, I think the amount is double that because sometimes we send money to our relatives and friends who come here and tell them that. Now, the next speaker was the highest ranking official in San Francisco. He was also president of the San Francisco City College. He has been involved in politics for a long time. He's a good friend. He's one of the persons I called in my office when we organized U.S. Pinoys for Noynoy Mar. And many of you know them. Know him, you know him because you don't know me because I'm always in the background. But I'd like to call Mr. Rodis, Attorney Rodis. He's also a practicing lawyer in San Francisco. Attorney Rodis.
Thank you very much, Ted. You know, this place is very special because when they bought this place in 2003 and they invited me to their place downstairs, which was full, they asked me if can you stay up here? It's still under construction. So I was the one who baptized this place. When you can imagine, I was the only person in this place for about 2 or 3 days. But as Ted mentioned, we were among those who first organized the U.S. Pinoys for Noynoy Mar in September last year. But the roots go back when martial law was declared. Many of us in the United States came out and organized against Marcos, and we were demonstrating and picketing, and we were lobbying Congress. So we had a major campaign. Many of the people I see here were active in the anti-Marcos, anti-martial law campaign. After People Power overthrew Marcos, we had a freedom flight of many of those who were active all over the country. And when we came here and we met President Cory Aquino in Malacanang, one of the issues we raised with President Aquino was the need to grant suffrage to overseas Filipinos. We wanted the right to vote in Philippine elections. And President Cory Aquino supported us. We also wanted dual citizenship. That campaign started in 1986, and every year we would lobby every senator or congressperson who would come to San Francisco. We would ask them, please grant this, please, we need to be actively involved in it. In 2003, when we made a major push and many of us came here to lobby, we were given what's called a Hobbs choice, which was better half a loaf or no loaf at all. Because the bill that was presented to us was a bill where you could vote, have to promise that in 3 years you would return to the Philippines. Otherwise, you might go to jail for 1 year. That was placed in the law, and it discouraged a lot of people from registering to vote. It was a poison pill in many respects. What saved us was in 2004, when dual citizens wanted to vote and the COMELEC said no, Loida Nicolas Lewis filed suit in the Philippine Supreme Court and won unanimously, granting dual citizens the right to vote in Philippine elections. That was significant because